This is a video review of the Oscar-nominated film, movie as we like to call it. This is a video review of the movie The King of Scotland, which is a portrayal of the story of the last King of Scotland, who was apparently Idi Amin, who titled him as such. It's a movie that I would highly recommend. Partly for its fantastic portrayal of Idi Amin, which, although it's not exactly original, being as it is based somewhat on the fantastic 1974 documentary General Dada Idi Amin. So some of the scenes actually in the movie seem to be almost direct replicas of the original documentary. Some people say that this movie had the possibility of being an extremely dodgy movie, representing as it does Africa, representing as it does one of the most notorious dictators, who has been accused of such acts as cannibalism and extreme brutality. So some people thought that the movie could have actually just been more of a reinforcement of the colonialism, of the white man being somehow superior to the African, and representing the very worst case scenario of self-determination and self-rule. But this movie is not what that is. This movie is actually miraculously and quite fantastically inverted the story of colonialism by showing a Scottish doctor who goes to Africa for adventure and becomes the closest supporter and confidant of the dictator. In fact, he is known as a white monkey by the local Africans for his completely unparalleled and unquestioning support of the dictator. Of course, towards the end, as the dictator's behaviour becomes more and more irrational, this character starts and tries to leave, but using ego-stroking and manipulation and various clever techniques, the dictator, General Idi Amin, manages to control and dominate the good doctor. It is, in fact, a true story to some extent. I would recommend that you search on Wikipedia to find out more. There were many potential areas where it could have been used to reinforce current neo-colonialist attitudes, but it was used in maybe a clever way, or in some ways a glaringly obvious way, to try and subvert that kind of genre. This is no Black Hawk Down, but is rather an attempt to draw parallels between the support of people like Idi Amin by the British or American government through new forms of colonialism after independence, with what is actually occurring nowadays in countries such as Iraq, or dare we say the Lebanon, or any of the other Middle East. At some points these parallels are obviously drawn when Idi Amin says to the doctor, maybe you are just another white man who has come to Africa to fuck and have adventure. But at other times, there you can see the genuine love of the country by the good doctor, and you can start to see a very strong and maybe genuine relationship building up between them. Of course, towards the end, some untrue, maybe dramatic twists are pulled in, which I will not go into. But to quite a large extent, this movie is based on true facts. If you want to see an interview with the actual person that the story was originally based on, it is available on the internet in a BBC Hard Talk archive. I would draw your attention again to the Wikipedia page, and you can see that the original character it based on was maybe far less sympathetic than the person portrayed in the movie. Does that make the movie unwatchable? Does it make it bad? No, it doesn't. But at times you are aware of the script over the story and the characters. The characters are portrayed, by the way, in a very, very vibrant and fantastic way, so that I would recommend it for that. But it isn't a movie that I would be drawn to on second or third watching. The main lead actor has been recommended or nominated for an Oscar. For his acting skills, I'd have to say that I think maybe Jack Nicholson in The Departed would be a better nomination. But, considering that, as a character actor, the lead actor of this far surpasses Jack Nicholson, who of course is always Jack Nicholson in his movies. The versatility of a man who has actually managed to almost replicate General Idi Amin, and you could almost act as his double, is something that cannot be discounted. After a few minutes you forget he's an actor and he becomes Amin. So for me, the script maybe I would give a 4 out of 10. The acting I would give 8 out of 10. It's a movie that I would probably not want to see again, but I would recommend my friends to see one time. So I think I'll give it out 7 out of 10. And I certainly recommend, if you have the chance, to watch it. If it's on television or you can get hold of it in some other way, certainly spend your time. But maybe don't buy the DVD. Okay, this is Kenny G 101 signing out.